Sorry that I'm late. I really needed to make coffee. Excuse me. Whew. Because I got home way later than I thought I would, and I was scrambling to clear off my desk, get some energy from the coffee. So, yeah, I hope you're all having a good week. If you're watching on the replay, go ahead and comment below what your plans are this weekend. What do you got going on? Anything good or maybe boring, but you're still getting stuff done? That's great. Maybe what you're journaling about. I'll tell you that my goal for this weekend is to kind of just catch up on things around the house and actually do some work. So, when I first started this new job, I told myself like on Saturdays I wasn't going to do any work. I was going to try to like keep a better work-life balance. But there's some work I actually am looking forward to doing this weekend, so I'm gonna do it and not kind of stick to that rule. So, yeah, let's just work on our traveler's notebook a little bit, and I really want to hear from you all to see what's new. Hobonichi videos are out, so I'm sure you've all seen some interesting things. I feel like this year's Hobonichi has a lot of different and new things from the other years, but I don't know if that's just in my head. But thank you, Sophia Isabel, for joining us. I hope you're having a good day. Katie's here from Katie's Nesting Spot. Happy Friday. Let us know what you're up to this weekend. It has been a whirlwind of a week because I'm on campus for 10 hours a day, like point blank. I left this morning at 6:50 a.m. and I got home at like 6:10 p.m. So it's tiring, but in a very good way. I'm just like physically and mentally exhausted when I get home, but I'm not like upset about it, if that makes sense. It's like when you're really tired or you really thought through something and you worked it out and like you feel good that you did it. So that's kind of my feeling. But that's left me very little time to focus on like these other things. Like I did no prep for tonight because I thought I was gonna be home earlier than 6:10. um, so apologize if I don't have anything super fun to talk about, but maybe y'all can step in and share some good gossip or anything exciting. You're quarantined? That's not fun. Are you okay? Do you feel okay at least? Ugh, that's terrible. Well, hopefully you're quarantined with like some notebooks and some pens and you could like do some fun stuff. That's the best way to be quarantined, I guess. Um, I will say I bought a sugar-free coffee creamer. Um, Horrible. Don't get it. I was trying to just cut back on sugar, just in general. It's like, I'm gonna try this Coffee Mate, whatever fall thing, sugar free. Tastes kind of like plastic. So we're still gonna drink the coffee because we already made it and we need caffeine. But do yourself a favor. Just get the one with sugar in it. Like at this point, I don't know. Okay, Mama Gracie plans is on the mend. You're waiting for infusion to start. I can't get sick before I get them done. Oh, okay, so it's more of a okay, so at least you can like you're functional. You can do stuff, you feel okay, your mind's in a good place. Yeah, honestly, I was so disappointed in this. I wanted to try it, should have known better. Next time we're getting the one with sugar or just have it black cuz the sugar free, the more I'm talking about it, the less I want to drink this. Let's just take a few sips just because. Get the caffeine flowing. Oh my goodness, Katie went back to teaching full time. You're teaching special ed high school. Well, that's good. Are you in a new school than you were before? So is this all new to you, or you're going back to the school you worked at before? I guess that could make a big difference. Ugh, the coffee's horrible, but we're just doing it. I've done no journaling whatsoever. Have been using my fountain pen though, so I can talk about that real quick. So this is what I use for all my university stuff. This is the Okina notepad. If anyone's used Kokuyo paper, it's very similar to Kokuyo, which y'all know is my favorite. This is like a very I don't know if the lighting will show. It's like a light cream color, almost yellow, really. Um, and I've been using it with my Kaweco Sport in black. The only bad thing about this pen so far is, and y'all know I don't know the terminology. If you leave the nib exposed for a minute or two, like if I'm in a meeting or I was in a student conference and like I'm taking notes what the student's saying, and then I put my pen down for a minute and listen to him. When I pick my pen back up, it doesn't write. So what I do is I put the cap back on and let it be vertical. That way I guess the ink flows a little bit. And then I start writing. But other than that, this Kaweco in medium with just regular black ink, I think it's regular black ink, on this paper is just perfect. I have no idea about this Okina brand. I bought it at Kinokuniya in Atlanta a few weeks ago, but it's just really serving me well. Oh, have you used this brand of, or you mean Kokuyo, or have you used the Okina one? I'm curious to see, because I literally never heard of this brand until I was at Kinokuniya, and it reminded me so much of, not Kokuyo, Kokuyo. So it was in the district you have substituted for in the past years, but you were quite, so it's kind of all new to you. I mean, I guess you're familiar with the district, but the school itself is like a new thing. Well, that's a fun adventure. And it's still early in the school year, right? So I'm sure, it gets better and you'll get more accustomed to everything. So that's a fountain pen update. This I've been using daily, this combo. Also, I'm normally a notebook person, but I'm finding that the paper pad is serving me better than a notebook, because I just bring this with me on campus and I can take notes for whatever I want, write something out for a student, comes right out, give it to them, or scan it into my Good Notes app, regardless of what I'm doing. So instead of having a single dedicated notebook and you kind of have to worry what's going in the notebook and all that stuff, you're just using a notepad and putting the papers where you need to go later. So that's my spiel. Super behind on my traveler's notebook journaling. The last date we did was August 27th. So we're not that far behind. So let's just go to maybe this week, because I didn't get a chance to go through my phone and try to remember what's what, of course. Get my little clampy. Oh, and side note, I forgot who talked about it last time. I did finally look at the image from Travelers Company about our town, or what's it called? The town theme for this year. I saw the emails, and I think I put a calendar reminder to make an order for when it's released, because I love the design of it. So let me know in the comments if you saw the new Travelers Company announcement for 2024 and what you plan on getting, if you're gonna get anything. Okay, let me catch up, sorry. Mama Gracie Plans has been adding lots of pens to your wish list for Amazon since Christmas, as they seem to be costly. Y'all are a bad influence. Well, okay, in my defense, in all our defense here, 2 Christmases ago, maybe it was last Christmas, there was one of those Sailor fountain pens, the Shikiori or whatever it's called, in the Manyo Green, my first Sailor fountain pen, that was like $80 some, and normally I guess it's more, whatever. It seemed like too good to be true, because it's from like the Japan importer, so it's processed by Amazon I don't know. It was amazing. It was brand new. There was nothing weird about it. It came in the Sailor packaging, and I love it. Don't have it in front of me, but so sometimes you can get the good stuff on Amazon, and it is cheaper. Okay, catching up again. Right after you started, your husband left on a 10-day business trip to China, so you are literally holding down the fort and working. That's gotta be rough. Where in China did he go? I had worked in Shanghai, and then I did my semester abroad in Beijing. Interesting places. Zenglyph is here. Happy Friday. Thanks for joining us. And Amber's Journey. Oh my goodness, everyone's here tonight. Hey Amber, hope you're feeling well. Hope you don't have to work tonight. Um, Zanglif, before you go, let us know if you have any fun plans for the weekend, even if it's cleaning and doing laundry, which is one thing I want to do. Um, yes, please like the live if you can. And if you're watching this on the replay, don't forget to comment below about your Hobonichi, your Travelers Company for 2024 plans, or what you're doing this weekend. Yeah, so sometimes on Amazon they have really good deals on like European brands like Schmid pens or Schneider pens. I know I've seen some Travelers Company and Travelers Notebooks on there. You just kind of have to like really also take all reviews. This is general advice. Take all reviews with a grain of salt. Because like sometimes you read a review and it's like 0 stars, the person got the wrong thing or whatever. You can't always trust them 100%. So go with your gut instinct a little bit, um, and sometimes you'll be surprised. So yes, Quebec Sport has been serving me all week at school. And oh wait, did I announce this? I didn't because I haven't been live in a week. On Monday, in my pedagogy teaching group, because I was sitting next to the person who has a Parker fountain pen, I took out my Quebec Sport and I took notes in the meeting with my fountain pen. I felt very proud of myself for like using it in public. No one said anything to me. No one was like, "Oh, that's a weird pen" or anything like that. So I was very like, it's just one of those things. It's just like a nerve-wracking thing where you don't want to draw. I don't like drawing attention to myself, especially in that capacity. Like when you're in a group with other teachers, like I just didn't want to do that. So I used it. It worked like butter on this notepad. I was happy. And yeah, so no super fun, exciting plans for this weekend, but I'm actually looking forward to like tidying up and catching up just on general things, doing some work, doing some grading. My students have the first major assignment due next week, so they have their rough draft due this Sunday, which means I'll have 20 papers to read next week, on top of still gotta do lesson planning, all that fun stuff. So we're just taking out our Tombow marker sharpener, and we're still using the Dollar Tree color pencils, y'all. Also, comment in the either in the chat or on the comments below what movie you've watched recently. I went through a spiel. I went through a little thing this week where I actually watched. Or was it over the weekend? Where I watched like a movie a day, like a new to me movie. I don't know what came over me, and I watched some really good movies that were like either well known in the past few years, and I just didn't know about them because I'm clueless sometimes. But they were all just very good. Amazon Prime surprisingly has amazing movies. So just throwing that out there. One of them was Women Talking, which I think came out last year, the year before. It's about a group of like Amish or Mennonite women who are getting together to discuss leaving their colony after the men like abused them. And it was just really good. The acting was amazing, the dialogue, 100%. That's the last one that I had watched. I didn't order anything from Hobonichi yet because I feel like it's way too early for me. I'm thinking of placing an order like mid-October. I want to order stuff. I'm definitely ordering something for 2024 because I didn't last year and I regretted it. And then, this year there's so many new changes that it feels like I need to. But if I get like a 2024 thing in the mail now, I can't really use it, right? So I just feel like it's too early. But if anyone wants a Travelers Company USA thing, y'all better know to set your Google Calendar reminder the day that it says it's released for shipping, because y'all know they're gonna sell out, because they do that with their marketing. I don't trust their marketing. They know what they're doing. They hype up a product and then sell out, and then they send emails saying we're gonna get a restock, and then they like restock again, and then it sells out, and then they say we're gonna get another restock. So I just don't trust them. So I try to order their stuff the day it comes out. Movie The Meg 2 was what's that about? I don't know if I've heard of that. Oh, it is definitely a big tearjerker, but like in a good way because maybe I'm overanalyzing it. But at the heart of the storyline, there's a lot of like philosophical elements to that talks about what it means to be human and what it means to like what it means to love, what it means to care for, what it means to be part of a community, like all these like very great things that are formed in the woman's flashbacks. So I just thought it was great for that reason. But definitely not a happy movie if you like, just want to watch something happy and funny. Okay, Katie's got to pick up your kids. Be careful driving out there. You know how people are on Fridays. There's crazy drivers around here. The giant prehistoric sharks. Okay, that would scare me, so I don't think I could watch that. That would definitely be a no-no for me, but I'm sure it's great. I don't know if I could handle it. We're still drinking the horrible coffee. It's so horrible. Whew, why did I do this to myself? So I guess the first thing I could draw is, let's see, Monday was the 11th. That was a long day. Well, actually, all these were long days. I guess I'll draw my cat zooming. And by zooming, I mean on a Zoom meeting, not zooming like cats have zoomies, of course. And that also was the day I got my new office and desk area set up, so that was good. Meg is a different type of shark movie. It's more entertaining. Okay, well maybe I could. I don't know. I would probably have to close my eyes half the time. So we're just drawing a student cat, and then me zooming with him. So when I have student conferences, they're actually on Zoom, and the reason why that is because when the semester started, we did not have desks or office space due to a facilities issue. So I was not dealing with trying to find a physical place to schedule 20 meetings. I just wasn't, I refused to. So it was fine. Most people do it on Zoom anyway. I would have preferred to do it in person because I think you get a lot more value from it because writing is a social interaction, and a lot of these students are away from home for the first time. They need like kind of all the help that they can get kind of situation. And when I say help, I mean just interaction. There's nothing I do special for them. I'm just someone they talk to about their ideas they want to write about. So anyway, I'll stop ranting about my thoughts about writing. So I'm just gonna put students. Whoops. Conferences. Coffee break. Horrible coffee break. I don't think I could drink anymore. I think I'm gonna go and do it in the sink. Why did I do that? Okay, so, and then Tuesday, I have my teaching seminar at night. During the day, I worked. I looked at my bird feeder outside while I was working, so maybe I'm just gonna draw the cat waving to the birds. I don't know how I'm gonna draw that though. Just draw the bird feeder first. Yeah, so I teach college and I'm doing my PhD as well, and I work for the federal government part time now. I used to work full time for them for the past decade. And then in the past 2 years, 3 years actually, I worked part time at a college where I was working. Okay, I basically switched this summer. I switched from working for the government full time and working for a college part time to working for a college full time and working for the government part time. Don't know if that makes sense. Um, and I moved to Tennessee in order to make that happen. Again, don't know if that makes sense. I also bought a plant for my patio. It's like orange. I don't know what it's called, but I felt like I needed some color, and the weather's finally getting nicer down here. I don't know where you all are. I feel like summer was so brutal. Um, yeah, like you have the windows open, you hear the birds, there's a breeze. It's just like the best time of year. Now I don't know how I'm gonna draw a little bird. Um, okay, that's really bad. Okay, that's horrible. Looks like a banana. And I'm just gonna write birds. Wednesday. What did I do on Wednesday? The same thing. I was conference with students. Went to my rhetoric seminar. I worked 3 hours at my other job. Um, yeah. I did cook something on Thursday, so maybe let's draw him at the stove. I think that has some potential. Um, I made a not lentil. Well, there's lentils in it, but it's like a barley soup. Um, and I made homemade chicken stock, so that was worth it. I don't know how I'm gonna draw that really. I guess I'll just draw some steam over the stove. Kind of feel out of practice, but that's okay, y'all. We just do what we want to do. Maybe I'll draw him with spatula. Oh, my niece is watching. Hi, Jalen. What are you up to tonight? Did you already have dinner? It's late. And you probably have cheerleading this weekend. So we're drawing our cat. He's gonna have an apron because he's cooking. You didn't make the noodles from scratch, did you? Because that would be really really homemade. What I like to actually, what I'm trying this time is I took 3 bowls of the soup, and put them in Tupperware, and I put them in the freezer. I've never froze soup I've made before, but I feel like it can't be bad, right? So we'll give that a try. Because I make a giant, Dutch oven sized pot of it, because I boil the whole so I don't want it to go to waste. So we'll see how that goes. What else can we draw to signify that he was cooking? Um, well, maybe we'll just write making soup. That sounds good. Okay, so soup does freeze. Sorry. And I left plenty of room between the lid of the container, just because it'll expand or whatever. Um, and funny thing is, I actually went to Walmart late last night and bought a microwave to take to my desk on campus because the building that we're in doesn't have any microwave. Apparently, there's a small fridge. I've never seen it. I have no idea where it physically is. Because if you haven't watched before, the building our desks are in is slated to be demolished in May, so they don't really care about what goes on in that building, and they don't really do any upkeep because, again, it's going to be demolished. Why would they? So I figured I want to be able to heat up my lunches and dinners if I'm there in the evening, and or breakfast really. And yeah, so I was like, I'm just gonna spend the $50 and buy a microwave. That way, I just plop it on my desk, and of course, like my cubicle mates can use it too, because I have like a tea kettle there and everything. Because the cost of $50, that's only like if you want to have a hot lunch. If you go out somewhere and buy lunch, no matter what you buy, it's like $12 to $15 just for the food. So I figure it kind of pays for itself in 4 meals. And if I can use it between now and May, who knows if we're going to have any office space next year, because the university is so weird. They're demolishing 6 buildings this summer, but only building 1. And we already are at max capacity. Parking garage is 100% full. Freshman class is the maximum. It's just chaotic. So I don't know what their plans are. But $50, we're going to let it pay for itself. Right? I'm thinking like I should just buy my own microwave. Why not? Like, I don't feel like dealing. So if I were to walk to the actual department office that I work in, it's literally like a good 10 or 15 minutes walks away. So it's not like I can walk to where we do have a microwave in our faculty lounge, use the microwave, and then go back to my desk. It's just like not an option. And when I say lounge, it's not even really a lounge. It's literally like the copy room that also has a sink and a microwave. So it's not like I could microwave my food and then sit there and eat it. I still have to walk 10 or 15 minutes back to my building. So we're spending the $50. It'll be good use. Okay, Jalen, good night. You be good for your mother and your father. Sending everyone online? Wait, what did you mean? What did I say? Did I miss something? So on Sunday morning, early in the morning, I will drive the microwave to where I can pull my car up on street parking, because during the week there's no street parking, only on the weekends there's spots available, unless it's a football game day, which there's no parking at all. That way I can unload the microwave and carry it up and set it up for next week. So I can finally have a warm meal because I've only been able to have cold lunches because I pack a cooler bag. Anyway, this has turned into like me talking about my lunch habits at work because I'm drawing him making soup, and that's okay. So today is Friday, September 15th. What did I do today? I did have coffee with 2 of my colleagues, which is why I was late coming home. I had reserved a group room, and we went and got coffee, and we sat and we talked for a while, which was great. It was like the good conversation that you need to have with your coworkers, especially your new ones, about like, just getting to know each other better and the gossip and all that good stuff. So I'm glad I did that. So maybe I'll just draw us all here at a round table. And remember, I'm not an artist, and I don't really know what I'm doing, so... Oh, now, Zenglif, now I know what you're saying, sending everyone online. Good point. The problem is I still physically need a workspace. Like, because when you're there all day, you have to like have a. So what happens is, I have an awkward 4 hour break on some days where I have nowhere to go. Well, now I do. Thanks so much. I have a place to go now. Um, I could leave campus and go home, which is a 10-minute drive. But because parking's at capacity, when you lose your parking spot and you leave, you won't get it back unless it's really late in the day. So then I'd like miss class if I can't find parking. So I kind of just park my car at 7 a.m., leave in the garage all day till 5 o'clock, and then walk around campus to go to my different things. But now that I have a desk that's permanent and in a locked space, well, not permanent, but you know what I mean. It's not shared by anyone. I can like drop my bag or leave my lunch there or head back there and make a cup of coffee. Like, it's nice to finally have that. But I don't know what they're going to do with all these record enrollments and all the different things that are going on. I really don't know what their plan is. And I don't know how to draw the cat really sitting down, so I just draw the chair like that. Okay. Yeah, this is horrible. In my defense, it's because I don't have good coffee. This coffee's horrible. I am gonna draw like a whiteboard because we were in a room that had like a whiteboard. Anyone reading anything good lately? I started reading Hangs a Man last night by Shirley Jackson because I talked about a couple lives ago, back when I was dog sitting, I read The Bird's Nest by her, and it was definitely good. Trying to think what else Shirley Jackson wrote that you might know what it is. Like The Lottery. They did a biopic of her, and Elizabeth Moss starred as her. Yeah. I'm just gonna call this coffee chat. All right, let's do some coloring in with our Dollar Tree colored pencils. These are still my go-to. Whoops, we're not using light greens, I just dropped it. Alrighty, so yeah, sometimes it's hard to find a good book. What's happened is I'll start reading something, and I did this with movies until last week, really. And then, like, I'm bored of it. Like, I started watching all these movies on Amazon and Netflix, and like 20 minutes in, I'm like, I can't sit through this. And I used to not be like that. I used to be very much like, well, we'll just watch it and finish it, and, you know. And now I'm just like, no, I don't like it, I'm done. There's a really good, other movie I watched on Netflix, which was trippy, like, Beware, and it has like famous people in it that are Gen Zers or whatever. Is it called Don't Worry Darling? It's on, not Darlene, Don't Worry Darling or something like that. It's with Harry Styles and all those other people that I only know from Twitter mentions, really. I think it came out last year or the year before, and it was in theaters, which I literally had no idea. I never heard of this movie until it randomly popped up on Netflix. Very good movie in terms of the storyline. I had no idea what was happening. Very trippy, great visual effects and great like audio effects. Very suspenseful. Uh, I was blown away by the ending. Like I didn't know that's what was happening the whole time. So I guess to say it wasn't predictable. Just great. Very trippy though. You're watching it, you're like, what is happening? So if you're looking for a good suspenseful thing, I would definitely recommend that. Yeah, Analog Planner. Yeah, you're here. Welcome. Happy Friday. So I didn't know Harry Styles even acted. That's how bad I am with Hollywood stuff. But the movie was intense, very intense to the point where that's why I wouldn't recommend it for everyone. Um, but I think it would have been one of those really good movies to watch in the theaters because of the big screen and like the sound effects. You know what I'm talking about? Like there's certain things that if you watch on your laptop, it doesn't have the same effect as if you're watching it like in a dark theater. Um, and I got a sound bar finally for my TV because I feel like I'm losing my hearing, but with the bugs outside because y'all notice on these lives that the bugs down in Tennessee don't mess around and they are loud. Um, Sometimes I literally can't hear my little TV, so I bought a sound bar, connect it via Bluetooth to the TV, and like the quality of the sound's a lot better. So I watched this movie when I got the new sound bar. It was like the first thing I watched, and I could feel like some of the sounds, you know. So that's why I say it might not be a good thing to like watch on a little laptop or like on your iPhone or whatever. But yeah, it was. Other than that, whew, it was intense. It's like has like Florence Pug in it or like Pooh. I don't know how you say your last name. Um, who else is in it? Like Nick Kroll is randomly in it as like a side character. Um, just very intense. That's a good word to describe it for sure. Oh, it's on HBO Max. It might be. I mean, I thought it was on Netflix because I didn't have any commercials. So that's why Netflix is the only platform I have that doesn't give me commercials. Okay, sorry, I'm messing up on everyone's chats here. Amber's drinking tea. What kind of tea are you drinking, Amber? I probably should have just made a tea. That sounds way better than this horrible sugar-free coffee. Yeah, it's a good trippy movie. Not Olivia Wilde. Okay. Um, Not for the faint of heart, I guess you could say. Hi, Jalissa. Welcome to Friday Night Live. Let us know what you're up to this weekend, and thank you for coming. Yeah, it just that movie was whew. Then I also watched a movie that's old. It's from like I think it was 2008 or 2009, called Sunshine Cleaning, and it's with Amy Adams. Automatic, good movie in my opinion. Amy Adams. What's her name? She's married to John Krasinski. She was in Devil Wears Prada. I'm totally blanking on her name. Emily Blunt. Emily Blunt and another person who recently passed away. I forget his name too. Anyway, very good movie. Randomly came up on my Amazon Prime. Also recommend that one. Hello, King Melon. Yes, Emily Blunt. Okay, I love her. I thought Emily Blunt's acting in this movie was like the best acting I've ever seen from her. So that's why I was surprised. I'm like, how come other people like don't never heard of this film? Because the acting is so good and the storyline was good and just everything was just so good about it. Oh, Zanglif, did you watch Sunshine Cleaning, or are you referring to the Don't Worry, Darling? Because Sunshine Cleaning was an absolute banger. Like I highly recommend if y'all have Amazon Prime and you just need like a sad but also feel good movie. Um, I highly recommend it. And I'm pretty sure it was like was it early? Was it like 2009 or 2010? Like around that time, I think is when it came out. I couldn't because I remember looking it up, being like, how come I've never heard about this movie before? Anyway, So we did some student conferences. Yes, Sunshine Clean. Okay, wow, someone else saw this movie. I'm so glad. It was just, I mean, I didn't look up what it scored on like reviews and stuff because I don't really go by those. I go by like my own opinion. But I thought it was like the perfect movie. It hit everything, like, it just, it was great. Also, sometimes I think I have like a nostalgia thing where I want to watch stuff from like the early 2000s. Just like how sometimes you want to watch movies and stuff from the 90s or sitcoms from the 90s because life was different back then and like sometimes I miss it. Okay, so we're just drawing. I mean, we're coloring in now. I'm just going in no specific order. Yeah, it's a good movie. I also watched. Oh, this is one of my all-time favorite movies for many reasons, but it's also on Amazon Prime. So if you have Amazon Prime, it's called Barbara, and it's a movie about a doctor in East Germany in the 80s. And because she's trying to escape East Germany, she gets sent to work in like a small town clinic. And all the while, she's trying to plan her escape from East Germany with her boyfriend who lives in West Germany. And that is another example of like amazing cinematography. Like, I don't always notice these things, but when I notice them, I can't stop thinking about them. Like, how they filmed the scenes of her walking and riding on her bike with like it was always windy out and there's like plants in the background in every scene. It's just, you know, such a good storyline. I also have a real big thing for like stories that take place in East Germany. Like if you ever see like The Lives of Others, or it's not necessarily just East Germany, but there's a really great series on Netflix called Cleo with a K, Kleo. That's like a mini series about a girl who was like a spy for East Germany, and someone like turned her in and threw her in jail. She was like in Hunchenhausen or whatever, and when she gets out, she wants to know who did that to her, so she like tries to track the person down and take revenge on them. Definitely not for the faint of heart. While the acting and storyline is amazing, there are some gruesome scenes. You can imagine. That's all I'm gonna say. But a surprisingly great series. Okay, I need to color the bird in so it's not looking like a banana. So we'll just color him blue. Oh, which movie have you seen? Sorry, I'm talking about so many different ones I can't remember. I didn't look at the chat the moment we were talking about it. Yes, that's it. They're slower and more thoughtful. And this is gonna make me sound like a boomer, but like I'm very nostalgic for the days where we all didn't have smartphones and we didn't have like this constant attachment to knowing what was going on all the time, which of course has its positive aspects to it. But like you used to be able to just like go out and meet your friends for coffee and like you might not even have a cell phone. You might have had a brick phone that you can only make phone calls on and no one really called you. And then you go out to coffee and whatever, and then you like go home and like you weren't checking your email, you weren't checking for messages, you just were in the moment more. So sometimes I miss those days. As much as I would love to try to have them, it's just like, you know, I try to not look at my phone all the time, but we know how that goes. Ignorance is bliss sometimes. That is a very good way to describe it. Oh, thank you, G's channel. I'm just doing this all on my own. I don't really know much about drawing. I just kind of doodle with a marker and then color it in with colored pencils. It's more like fun than it is trying to make artwork. You know what I mean? You know, I don't mean to say boomer, but like, you know, you always hear like, oh, people say like back in my day, you know, we didn't have this and we didn't have the internet. Cause like, I was telling some of my students the other day, cause I'm older than them, right? um, that like we didn't get Wi-Fi in our dorm in college until I think I was in my third year. Like, because Wi-Fi was just becoming like a thing then. Um, so sometimes I'm like, y'all don't remember having to go to the yellow pages in the phone book, the physical book, to look up the number for Domino's Pizza, to dial and call and speak to someone and order a pizza. So I sometimes just have to remind them of that. Barbara with the head of people in the zoo. I was also. I don't think it's that Barbara, but I think I know what you're talking about. Hide people in the zoo. I saw something. Um, there's also a Polish movie, or maybe it's like a series where it's like also dystopian, where they like there's like flooding. There's like a flood at the beginning of it. I forget what it's called. Yeah, I definitely like European movies for all those reasons. Yes, exactly. How do we survive? Yet we did, like. But I get it. It's got to be hard now for like younger people because you constantly have to be always doing something. There's like the hustle culture and the grind culture and everyone knowing everything about you just by like clicking your profile and you posting everything about you. And it's just like, yeah. Also, I have this like weird nostalgia for when you back in the day you could just like go over to your friend's house and knock on the door to see if they want to hang out. And I don't mean children. I mean like in your 20s, like swing by your friend's apartment, like during college or whatever. It's like see if they're around or like you know what I mean. Now it's like you have to plan everything and you have to text them when you're there and like you just walk down the street and like swing by my apartment and see if I'm home. I could be sitting outside and we like strike up a conversation, but you don't really have that nowadays. And now I'm sounding like a boomer by saying nowadays. Yes, and I swear the internet, as great as it was, and I remember I first started watching YouTube when it came out, when I was in college in 2005 or 6. I remember thinking this is great because it's a good way for people to connect on things that they might not have people in their real life to connect with, which is, I mean, in the, non-virtual world, like for information purposes and all that. But at the same time, you kind of lose that in-person connection too. I don't know how else to explain that, but yeah, sometimes too information is too much. You don't need to look up every little thing. Like, just go and check it out to see if like the place is cool. You don't have to scroll through every photo and every review and like scrutinize everything. Hey Melissa Sue. Melissa Sue is here. Happy Friday. Let us know what you're up to this weekend. We were just talking about the good old days before cell phones and the internet. I'm just drawing here a little colored pencil. Then we're looking at the birds. I do have a bird watching book, so I'm afraid I might become like a bird watcher person because now I have all these different birds coming on my patio, and I was curious, like, what are they? So, and it's so cute. Like the cardinals are a couple, and they bring their babies, and the little baby, I don't think they can really. I'm not sure if they can really fly well, but they like, hop. What's the word? Waddle along, and then like the mom eats the seed and then she like goes and feeds the babies and they do it right in front of my door and I'm like looking out watching it. I'm like, ugh. See, simple things like that sometimes are just all you need. Your daughter to help you use TikTok. I feel so out of touch with technology. She had everyone's number memorized. Yes, I still have my parents' numbers memorized, and Which is a good thing. If you're in jail and you need to make a phone call, you can't always look at your cell phone and be like, oh, sorry, I don't know the number. At least know someone's phone number by heart. Fledgling, yes, because they can fly a little bit, but they're tiny and they're like chirping, and it's just a fun thing. Like simple things, right? It really is the simple things in life. You're starting another journal. Today you designed, printed, fussy cutted, dyed out lots of extras. Geez, you've had a busy day. That's a lot. I don't even know if I have. My attention span is already. So you missed it, but I made a coffee with this like sugar-free thing, and it's horrible. So I can't even drink it. So now my brain's starting to shut down. But we've been going for 50 minutes. That's pretty. We're doing pretty good here. Then I made soup. Splenda. I'm not sure if this one's made with Splenda or something else. It's like the Coffee Mate brand. I figured I'd give it a whirl. It was like on sale, but nope. We're done. There was something I was gonna say, but I already forgot. We're talking about birds. We're talking about East German films. Wow, we really cover a lot of topics on these live streams, don't we? Oh, okay. See, I'm not used to it. I'm trying to just cut back on my sugar and see what I should have just made it without the sugar-free stuff and just had it black, and I would be fine with it. I just wanted to try the sugar-free thing, and now I know just next time just to make it black. Can y'all believe it's like gonna be October so soon? And October is the fastest month that goes by, I'm telling you. I don't have the science to back it up, but I'm just gonna make that claim. So before we know it, it'll be November. Oh, I know what I was gonna say. I want to travel. This is totally a segue. It's only because we were talking about East Germany, maybe. So I want to travel over winter break, and I need to renew my passport, and I totally forgot because the past 10 years have flown by that I realized my passport's expiring in the spring. So you need to have 6 months validity on your passport before you travel. I also had to hand in my diplomatic passport when I left my previous position. So now that I'm here, I no longer have my diplomatic passport to travel on. So now I was like checking my personal, I was like, oh, gotta renew that. And fun fact, I have a passport that has the added pages to it because before 2015 or 2016, the State Department would actually they would insert pages in your passport if your stamps were filled up, and my pages were filled up with stamps and visas. So I have like a super thick passport, and I was trying to think, and since y'all are creative and you can help me out with this, especially you, Melissa Sue, I want to like memorialize those pages somehow. So I was thinking, do I like make color photocopies and maybe like make a little journal book that's like a spread of all my passport stamps? Because I'm gonna mail in my old passport, and you usually get it back with a hole cut out in the front, right? That way you can keep your old passport. Because I have a lot of stamps, I have lots of visas, and I was proud of those stamps. Like I really wanted to travel when I was growing up, so this is like perfect. But what if something happens and like they lose my old passport, I don't get it back, it gets lost in the mail. So I want to memorialize the pages before I ship it off to get renewed. So I'm thinking I could take photo images on my iPhone, maybe print some from my Kodak camera printer, or print them off from like a higher quality photo printer and somehow turn them into pages. I'm not sure how I want to do that yet, but I don't want to lose that. You know, it's such like an important part of my life. So Casio Rodriguez is here. Hi from Brazil. Oh, how's your day in Brazil going? Let's see if I know any Portuguese. I only know obrigado and voce fala português, maybe? Something like that. That's it. My Portuguese is limited. But thanks for joining us. DIY bookmarking. That's an interesting idea for it. Photocopy it all before yes, before I even ship it off, and I'm gonna do that on Monday, or well, I'll be on campus all day, so probably Tuesday. I am absolutely taking a picture of every single image. So I'm thinking maybe I'll make a photocopy, take a picture with my phone, all that stuff, because all my stamps are just like, I want to turn it into something. I don't know what I would turn it into yet, besides like a book, of course. The Koji Coda lover is here. Hi, happy Friday, welcome. Let us know what you're up to. Yeah, I think what I'll do, Analog Planner, is I'll scan the pages. I use this app called Genius Scan, and then I'm gonna take a photo maybe of each page. And as long as I have a digital image of it, I'm not worried. Because, I could still get the passport back, right? Like, I could ship it off and get my renewal and everything's fine, but I'm so paranoid, like, what if it gets lost, that I don't want to risk not having something as a backup. Oh, that's right! Passport size traveler's notebook, which is literally why they made that. So I could maybe just take a passport size notebook and maybe make a passport out of my passport, or I know there's like the accordion paper. That would be kind of cool to like accordion out, open up and see all the stamps. Yeah, we have to work on that, y'all. But ain't gonna happen anytime soon, I can tell you that. I at least want to take the images before I ship off my passport. I've done 0 of my lesson planning for next week because this week we had student conferences, so I didn't have the need to lesson plan. But now I'm gonna pay the price because I have to do the whole week for next week. But I'm excited to do it, so not bummed out about it. Yeah, make a booklet passport size. I can journal over one. Yeah, well, I'm also thinking like, like I could make like more than one thing, right? Like I could design a page, like a printout, which that is so far beyond my brain. I would love to make stickers and all these other kind of things, but that's definitely a good idea. There's just so many things you could do, right? You could spend the whole day just like doing stuff in your journal and coffee chats. A vertical stapler. How does that work? Is it so like the stapler body is this way, but then the staple comes out vertical, like the actual staple? I don't know if that made sense. We're almost at my time limit of not making sense anymore. So once we're finished drawing this coffee shot, I think once we're finished coloring this coffee chat, I think we should call it a night. Timo has a rotating one. Oh geez, there's a whole world I don't even know about. Make stickers. Oh yeah, Mom Barisi plans. You should definitely. Melissa has tons of like tutorials and demonstrations, and one time she even made me a printable for, because I love the color green. And I always talk about how so many like printables or designs of so many products are not neutrally colored. They're usually like, you know, pink or purple or with flowers or sparkles. And like, I just sometimes want something more neutral. So she designed like a green, I don't know what you would call it, printable thing to cut out and use in my journal or planner, really, both of them. That are all different shades of green, like green borders and all that stuff. So, yeah. I don't know how you all have this like creativity and then you're actually like able to do something with it. It's just amazing. Okay. I really want to make my own stickers, like for my channel, I guess you could call it. I really want to, you know, draw my cat guy, who I still don't have a name for, I still think of a name, to make like a logo for my channel, which was kind of be the sticker as well. I would love to learn how to use an app on an iPad like Procreate or something to make a animated draw an animated cat guy waving at you as part of like the intro to my videos. Like all these big picture things I have, I just don't have the capacity right now to like figure out how to do that stuff. But those are like my next step dreams. Okay. Shout out to Whitney. How are you doing today, Whitney? And what's up? What's going on? Okay, we only colored 4 days so far of this week. I need to figure out what I did on Wednesday. I know I worked, obviously, and I just don't know what I did afterwards. So, yeah, there's Cat Guy making his soup, having a coffee chat, watching the birds, and doing student conferences. I think I'm going to have to call it a night, y'all. Thank you, everyone, for joining me tonight. I hope Melissa has a good time making her journals. Mama Gracie plans. I hope your quarantine goes okay and you're feeling okay. Always take care of yourself. It's important. Katie had to go pick up her kids, and she's managing the whole house on her own while her husband's gone for 10 days. So I hope Katie is hanging in there as well. And PSA, if you're going to get yourself a coffee, the sugar-free, and you're not used to it, the sugar-free didn't work for me tonight. So if you need energy to get through this weekend, to get your journaling done, go ahead and just get yourself a large coffee and add sugar if you can. So I will see you all. Okay, Melissa says we have to wait, so we're going to wait. While we're waiting, I'll clean up my colored pencils. I'm gonna like unpack, tidy up this weekend, do some cleaning. I do want to do some stationery stuff because I haven't really done much. I've done no long form journaling. That's a bummer. I really want to work on that. But in all fairness, I read about 200 pages a week for my PhD, and I write tons and tons all the time. I take notes with my fountain pen when I'm in student meetings, so it's not like I'm not, you know, engaging the writing aspect of journaling and all that. It just is in a different format right now. Oh, one thing we can check. We can see if this Dollar Tree fountain pen is still inked up and it didn't dry out yet, because I'm curious. It's been since July, right? When I was dog sitting, which seems like ages ago. Okay, if anyone wants to know, we're doing ethos, logos, and pathos in my English class. So, looks like Dollar Tree pen has dried up, But this is a summer color, and we're not in the summer mode anymore, so that's okay. Maybe I can repurpose this cartridge, but it looks like it's dried up through the nib, or however you call it. I don't know the correct terminology, but she is not writing. That is okay. That's the cycle of fountain pen life. Did I miss anyone's comments? I don't think. Good night, everyone. Yes, have a great weekend. I don't think I missed anyone. Just doing a quick scroll. And if I missed it, I'm sorry. If I'm ever not answering you, just please say it again. But I think we got everyone. Thank you, Cassio, for joining us from Brazil. Arte Santa. Oh yeah, we talked about Boomer. I'm glad you were able to join us tonight. And yeah. Oh, Katie's back. Hopefully, Katie, everything goes well. You're like managing 10 different things. Maybe you get to do some journaling or anything like that, but I need to work on that for sure. I'm gonna try to either do, I don't know. I still want to do a live next Friday night. Let's say same time, same place. I'll make sure to post something so we can schedule it. I want to film a video. Maybe I can do that this weekend. So maybe I'll be able to post something early next weekend, but I just don't know if it's going to be possible. Oh, you were listening and driving. Okay, good. So you didn't miss any of the ranting about East German films or horrible sugar-free coffee or trying to get a desk at the university. You got to listen to all of my chaotic rambling. At least we drew 4 things in the Traveler's Notebook. And I can't wait to hear your opinion on the 2024. I mean, I don't know if you can see the images up close, but they posted on the Travelers Company website. Like, I know I saw the thumbnails in the email that they send out, but I'm not sure if I clicked it to see if I could see like close up. I can't remember. Yeah, see, the sugar-free is just, you know what? It's because it wasn't doing it for me tonight when I really needed it and I was tired. I could probably have sugar-free other times, or just black coffee, and next time I'll just make black. But yeah, trying to cut back on the sugar. All right, y'all have a good weekend, and please take care of yourself. I will see you next time.